I'm so excited for today's panel. We have with us Manjul ji, who has been, I think he's synonymous with Indian political cartoons in this country. And he's been contributing to so many various publications over the years. He has an immense body of work, and I'm sure he needs no further introduction. And secondly, we have our establishment's recent favorite, Rachita Dhaneja. And she runs a feminist online webcomic called Sanitary Panels. Welcome, Manjul and Rachita. Thank you for joining us in this session. So, Manjul ji, you're known in this country as an established political cartoonist. When did that journey begin for you? When did that journey, I believe you started making cartoons when you were just a teenager. When did that switch to political cartoons? When did you find that to be your calling?
Because of this 1984, because Indira Gandhi got killed, and so suddenly I became aware of the political happening, what is going on. Probably that was the time when I started drawing for newspapers. That time there was only one way to become a cartoonist, that you need somebody who can publish your cartoon. So I tried to basically go to a newspaper office, but obviously newspaper editors were like a little bit jittery when they saw that the guy, the very young kid is standing there, wanted to be a cartoonist. So they said, okay, tum idhar draw karo. Somebody rejected me. Somebody sent me from this editor to that editor.
Rachita, I actually have the same question for you, but with also an added twist. Why the name Sanitary Panels? What is the relevance besides the pleasure that it probably gives all of us to see everyone squirm at the mention of menstruation? But apart from that, like, what is your reason behind that name, and also your journey? What led you to political cartoons?
I started the comic because I love reading the news, and I was very interested in continuing to comment on political issues that I wasn't able to work directly on. So I used to work at Greenpeace before 2014. In 2012, I worked at Greenpeace. And at that time, I was very critical of the Congress government as well. And in 2014, I just thought, because I can't work on all of these different issues at the same time, and I was very angered by the fact that people were being arrested for sharing their political opinion, I decided to go ahead and make a silly sketch and post it on the internet. Why Sanitary Panels? Like, I honestly don't, like, a lot of people have asked me this question and I don't remember why I landed on that name. I will give you, I'll give you folks an exclusive.
I also wanted to talk a little bit about both your styles. Like Manjul, your style would have also, started with one thing and developed over the years. And Rachita, like, you use stick figures, and that's a very, very distinct style. Like, you're known for, your format and the stick figures, you're known for that. Is it an intentional contrast to the complex issues that you kind of deal with, or like how did you kind of develop on that?
It's not that deep. I just don't know how to draw, or at least I didn't know how to draw when I started. I've learned how to draw since. But initially, I just wanted to do it because I was more focused on the words than I was on the art. And now I think, like you said, it's very easy to get straight to the point when you have a very simplistic, very not daunting, like sometimes when I see art, I get like a bit like scared of it, and I don't pay attention to the words. Now I think it serves well to the heavy things that I'm discussing.
I started by seeing others' work. Over the years, it basically I improved, or whatever you can say. But one thing I have realized, which is very I believe very strongly about it, that when it comes to cartooning, the more important thing is what you are saying.
Yeah.
Drawing is always secondary.
Also, what is your design process like? Because, of course, cartoons look easy when you see the finished product, but the kind of thought and effort that goes into even making a simple thing with a simple line next to it, like that idea takes, I'm sure, ages to develop sometimes. And how do you choose what to illustrate? What is your process like? What are the topics that you like gravitate towards?
What I said earlier also, that the most important thing is what you are trying to say. Then you try to find out a way to say that thing. Okay, and the challenge with me is like I have been doing it for so long, so every time I think, oh, I have done this before, so I have to find a new way. I have to find a new way. I have to find a view. So sometimes it becomes complicated also.
Rachita, what about you? How do you go about?
Yeah, I mean, it's really fascinating, Manjulji, to hear about how you go about it. And I already, it's only been like 7 years, and I already feel like I'm repeating my ideas. I'm so scared that it's going to get worse in those terms. But yeah, my process is pretty simple. Like I don't sit in front of my iPad or a piece of paper or anything. I have to think about the idea. The idea has to come to me first, and only then I make the comic. Because the maximum time I spent doing this is on the concept and the writing. Because obviously, as you can probably tell, the drawing doesn't take very long. It's refining the writing that takes and the idea. Because
over the past 7 years, we've seen a switch in government. We've seen the very social fabric of our country changing. We've seen people becoming more and more sensitive. And both of you have been making art before and after that. So have you in your personal lives felt that switch over the past 6-7 years? Or have you been censoring yourself maybe a little more, or do you feel a little more, fearful about it? Have you felt that change, just in any way?
I actually didn't make art specifically before Sanitary Panels, but I did do a lot of like memes and social media related content, especially while I was at Greenpeace. So I remember very vividly this image that I had put on social media, which was around the coal scam. And it was Manmohan Singh's face with coal for teeth. And at the bottom, it said Colgate. And we had put this out. And when I put this out, I was like, it did not even occur to me that this could get me into any sort of trouble. Like there was no fear or any kind of like fear of being, hit with a defamation law or like something else addition. I don't know. It didn't even like occur to me because I had not seen it happen around me. Again, like I'm speaking from a place of immense privilege. But at that time, I did not feel worried. Now, I mean, I don't think I need to say why artists need to feel uncomfortable and worried.
Look, the cartoonists who are sitting in Delhi, what they are drawing. You won't see Modi's face in cartoons, in big papers. Most of the papers, they don't carry cartoons. And paper who are carrying Modi's face in the cartoons, they are basically harmless cartoons. They won't say anything against Modi. So this is the atmosphere, and it clearly shows one thing, that this government is very scared of cartoons.
मुफ्त खोरो, मुफ्त में इतना ही मिलेगा. To watch the full unedited interview, you have to subscribe to News Laundry and pay to keep news free. Because when the public pays, the public is served. We depend on you and not on advertisers. So go to www.newslaundry.com/subscription and subscribe and get all our unedited interviews, our special video shows, comics, and everything that's behind the paywall. Remember, to subscribe to News Laundry, you pay just about 10 rupees a day. That's less than, a cigarette. And smoking is injurious to health. So subscribe and watch the full interview.
How has social media changed your approach to designing cartoons?
That political event changing your the way you presented your cartoons.
Is there a line that you think cannot be crossed?
I was just wondering if you can share an anecdote, maybe by whom would be a little bit tricky, but did you end up accepting that commission or not?
It's a fantastic question because I'd forgotten about it till just now.
I got a call from a Congress leader saying that you are a very good cartoonist, you are a great cartoonist, this and that. But please don't mention Bangkok.
I mean, with what happened, I think someone else asked about Charlie Hebdo also. I think it was a crass comic. I think it was distasteful. Do I think it needs to be censored? No.
These are the problems with the Indian system. And if you point it out, probably you'll be called anti-national or whatever. But these are the reality of the society.
So, the situation is really absurd, but I was like, how can I make it how can I center it on their fear?
How is that affecting your work? Is it harder to find humor in things that already don't make sense?
That's a great question, because sometimes, like when I'm looking at Arnab Goswami's face, it's like that's a cartoon in itself. How am I supposed to make fun of this man who consistently makes fun of himself in every possible way?
This is the biggest challenge we are facing today, because the reality or absurdity में कोई अंतर नहीं रह गया.
It was a pleasure listening to the interview.
Thank you, Manjul and Rachita, for your time.